Hello everyone. At this point, a few days have passed since we lost, unfortunately, to West Ham. Liverpool beating Manchester City at the weekend piled on the misery for Arsenal fans. That result all but cemented the Premier League title. Prior to this season, Arsenal looked like the team that would be best placed to take advantage of any potential drop-off by Manchester City. Arsenal's inability to do so begs the question, has Mikel Arteta failed? To answer this question, I think we further need to dive into the season as a whole. This season started off in an unprecedented fashion. Red cards to Rice, Trossard, and a few more incidences early on cost Arsenal valuable points. The Rice and Trossard red card especially haven't occurred to any other team since the start of the season, so the new precedent rule just seems to only stand for Arsenal. The other incident is the Saliba red card against Bournemouth. That said, I do believe that is a red card, so I'm not going to argue that one. These early red cards led to Arsenal dropping points, which inadvertently led to the lack of momentum being generated for Arsenal to put in a sustained run where they could win every week. Not only that, Lewis Skelly has recently got a red card that was overturned, and then he got one against West Ham, which, to be honest, was a red card. So that's 5 red cards for Arsenal this season, more than any other team, and that is definitely unsustainable. Another key factor to Arsenal's season has been the amount of attacking injuries. They've seen Saka, Havertz, Ben White on the right back spot have all had time out. Martinelli's also been out, Gabriel Jesus is out for the rest of the season. There are a substantial amount of injuries for Arsenal's attacking players, especially when the 2 best players at the club, Ødegaard and Bukayo Saka, have had sustained periods on the sideline. As you will know, if you're an Arsenal fan, Arsenal prefer to attack down the right-hand side. White, Ødegaard and Saka are the main players in that attack, and they have all been out this season. Therefore, the unit has not been sustained for a period over the course of the season. They weren't small injuries either. Saka's been out for 3 months, going on 4. Ødegaard was out for 10 weeks, and Ben White has been out for 3 months in that time. Not to mention, after January, Jesus does his ACL and is out for the remainder of the season. So that's half a season without our second striker. And then Havertz, unfortunately in Dubai, pulls his hamstring and is also out for the season. To couple with this, Arsenal's other attacking side, but on the left, have Martinelli, who plays the majority of games when the whole players are fit, has now also done some sort of leg hamstring pull and is out for next month. All of this adds to mean Arsenal haven't been able to build consistency and momentum using the same attacking lineup week in, week out, meaning that the relationships between different units and different players hasn't been able to build. The best players play for the best teams. The best teams get the best results. When the best players can't play, the best teams find it harder to get results. Arsenal losing their best right winger and probably the second best right winger in the Premier League, Saka, and definitely their best player, has massively affected the Gunners' performance over the course of the season. What we have to do is add context. Other teams, of course, have had injuries. Manchester City have lost Rodri, and they are on a down spiral where they're now in 4th place and look like they're going to struggle maybe to even get Champions League after this weekend's result against Liverpool. Not only that, Spurs had numerous injuries, and they find themselves in the bottom half. So what I'm trying to say is that whilst, yes, Arsenal have had injuries, yes, they're underperforming to what you'd imagine they should be this season, they have still performed remarkably well when compared to other teams, especially the likes of Manchester City. Context is key. Arsenal's second. Yes, 11 points off Liverpool, with a game in hand, but they also came 3rd in the Champions League. Now, they have been handed a tough draw where they've got PSV, and if they win that, they can face either Atletico or Real Madrid. So that might be as far as they can go in the Champions League this season. But thus far, in terms of dealing with the deficits that have been at play this season, Arsenal have certainly done a tremendous job. Most teams in world football have 2 players who are vital. 2 players that if they get injured, it would massively lessen their chances. To Real Madrid, it's Bellingham and Mbappe. To Manchester City in the past, it's been Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland. To Liverpool, it's Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk. These are the core 2 best players at the club that bring out the performance in the whole squad as a whole. Without the 2 players, performance as a team will drop. You won't be able to get through the games that are tight. You won't be able to get through the games where you shouldn't probably win. Arsenal, it's Saka and Ødegaard because of how vital Ødegaard is to chance creation. You could argue Saliba maybe, but I think we've got enough cover there now, so it is definitely Saka and Ødegaard, and both players have been out for sustained periods this season. Look at some more context. If Salah was out for Liverpool, they wouldn't be top of the league, without a doubt. If he was out for 3, 4, 5 months, the amount he's been bailing them out this season, I don't think Liverpool are top of the league. The one team who's been lucky with injuries, and don't get me wrong, they've been tremendous in terms of their performances, has been Liverpool. When you look at their attacking players, they've not had one injury to Salah, they've not had an injury to Van Dijk, they've not had an injury to McAllister. So their core players have all been fit. Not only that, they've been tremendous in terms of the new structure that Arne Slot has brought around them. But when you compare them to Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool, who are all the title contenders at the start of the season, Liverpool are the only ones who haven't had injuries. That's not taken away from their performance. What I'm actually saying is that is a big advantage for them, a credit to their medical department, and a major reason why they are on a sustained title charge where they have basically won the title already. In short, the league is done. The season is over. Let's be honest, we're not going to contend in the Champions League. But would you expect to? A front three of Trossard, Merino and Sterling, or even Trossard and Nwaneri and Sterling, is probably a bottom half Premier League team. The reason that we're fielding that is injuries. We don't have our key players available. The fact that we're in touching distance is absolutely obscene at the moment. So unless Saka can come back, hit the ground running, and we can get everyone back towards the later stage of the Champions League, this season is definitely over. So why not, instead of getting all irate online, do Arsenal fans not just adjust their perspective? Use the season to build from. We've seen the shortcomings. Hopefully the team and the recruitment team will act, bring in the required bodies so that we have cover if we have an injury crisis like this again. Not only that, we've seen the situation in terms of the young players that we've embedded. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri especially are a massive positive for this season. So readjust your viewpoint, look at the positives for the season, support the team while we can until the end of the season, and go again next year. Because the season's a write-off with the amount of players that we have out. So there's no point getting angry at the manager or anything. To answer the question at the start of the video, has Arteta failed this season? No, he simply hasn't. The results on the pitch, getting second where he is, getting third in the Champions League, have been extraordinary when you look at the context of the situations that have been provided. I think the failure has been from the board, the ownership, and also the recruitment team to not back him in January when the injury crisis was at its peak. That is the main issue. The fact that we didn't get Ollie Watkins over the line, or we didn't get an attacking player in to help lessen the load on Havertz. Subsequently, Havertz got injured, and now we look down to properly bare bones where Marino's having to play up front. So, yeah, it's as simple as that. The board are at fault, not Mikel, and at the end of the day, it's not Mikel's money, is it? So, does he sign another forward in? You're trying to tell me if he got offered Vlahovic, Sesko, etc. throughout his reign, he'd have said no. He absolutely wouldn't. He would have said, yes, obviously, I'd have them players. So, let's be pragmatic about it. Let's be sensible. It's not the manager's fault. It's not the players' fault. It's the board's fault. Can we do anything this season? No. Can the board repair their mistakes? Yes, if they back the manager and team in the summer window properly. So then we can go again next year. What I will say is I think that Arteta has been a testament to the club. I think he's been sensational during this hard season when issues have happened on and off the pitch, away from refereeing decisions, so on and so forth. Hopefully, though, you can enjoy the end of the season, renew your expectations, and maybe, just maybe, in the summer, when we kick off the new season, we may have a new number 14 up front. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.